Hi, this is JNGL with... Sorry, I said that backwards this time. It's Jacob Nash of JNGL. I was about to say the wrong thing. But this video is about kind of like the last one. And this is Lesson 3, Unit 5B. And it is about more postulates that can tell if triangles are congruent. So, there's lots of different combinations. And you can have some more help on Khan Academy, if I even said that right. But, first, we know from the last episode, or lesson, that if you have three sides that are the same, we know the triangles are congruent. That really is something you might assume anyways. But if it's like this, well, yes. If it's the same, of course, that's what has to happen. So, yes, that we know that's true. And but what about if it's angle, angle, angle? What if there's three angles that are congruent? Well, let's see. Well, triangles could be congruent. There's cases where they could be congruent. So, like this. That's kind of hard to draw, but you can tell that I have those congruence markings. But, if you think about it, the triangle could be bigger or smaller and still have the same angle measures. And that means it's not congruent. Because congruent has to be the exact same size and shape. But at least we know that triangles are similar when there's that. Sorry if you hear that noise. There's the lawn mowing landscaping company here today. But at least the triangles are similar. If we have just an angle and a side congruent, what does that do? And by the way, A and S, that's just angle side. But let's just let's just see. I watched a video by Khan Anatomy, and it's very good. Might even be better than this. But, I don't know. I'm going to just try to do, like, kind of what that guy did. So, he had kind of colors like that. And let's say we have a red side that's congruent. And then, let's go to green. And then we have a green angle that's congruent. So now, we'll go back here. So we have the same red side that's congruent. And we know angle's going to be congruent right here. Let's see. I'm going to go to black now. So, we know there's an angle right here that's this measure. In this case, if it's that measure right there, it would have to go back like this. So yes, they are congruent in this case. But in a different case, they might not be. Like this. I'll try again. So now, we have a triangle. Let's say, still this side is congruent. Oh, sorry about that. Phone keeps doing that. And this time that angle's congruent. Well, let's see what happens. Sorry, that's not okay, so we have the same congruent side, and we know that's an angle that's congruent. So we know this is going to go out. It could go this far, even if it could. It could go out as far as it would want to. I could even do that to show that it could. But then this side, there's no congruence marking here, so this side could come down all the way over here. You can tell those triangles aren't congruent. Yes, it could come down right here, but there's no congruence markings. Like, if it was like that, then it would. But that's what's happening next. We know that if it's only one side an angle, then it's not always going to be. If you have two sides and one angle, will that be congruent? Well, let's first try a triangle like this. Okay, let's say these two sides are going to be congruent, and then maybe this angle. Alright, well, let's try that. So we know this is equal, and we know this has to go as long as that, and this has to go as long as that. In this case, it would. They would be congruent. But if instead the angle marking was here, we know this side has to be congruent, this side is too, and we know this angle has to, we at least know that side's going to be that long. So let's try this again. This angle here, and then we know how long this side has to be, that's right here, but does it say what angle could be right here? No. So maybe this is right here, or even it could be right here. It could even go down like this. This angle measure, doesn't matter what it is. We could say that, and then the angle measure still goes here. In this case, no, it's not congruent. And remember, that's the congruent symbol. So side angle isn't always congruent, so that's not one you can tell. But so far, what do we know? We only know so far that three sides together could be equal all the time, or congruent. Three angles, or one angle and one side, or two sides and one angle. Doesn't work. But if we have two angles and a side, what about that? Angle, angle, side. What could that do? So let's try this. We have this and this as our angles that are congruent, and that side, and then another triangle right here. First we have this side, and we know this angle has to be that. We know this angle has to be that. Well, if it has to go at that angle, it has to come up like that. It could go as long as this. This one, we know it's coming like that. It could go that long. But the only point where they connect is right there. So the only triangle that could be made is this one. That is what works. Now, we know that if there's two angles in a side, yes, it is congruent. We could try some practice. Let's say we have two triangles here, and let's say the sides here are 9, 13, and this one's 4. That's obviously not something that would work for this triangle, but, and then what might this be? Well, honestly, it could be any value. There's really no way to solve this. But if let's just call this triangle ABC, and triangle DEF is this one. If we say that they're congruent, what would that question mark be? Or we could just say, instead, we could just say X. What would X be? X would have to be 4 if those triangles are congruent, because we know that's what it is. We can try another one. Oh, there we go. Let's say we have two triangles again, and let's say this is point A, point B, point C, and let's say we have another triangle down here, point D, point E, point F. Let's say these two triangles are congruent, and then let's say that A is, well, I don't have a lot of room to write. Let's see if I can change the size here. Okay. Get out of here. let's say this is 22 degrees, and this is 41 degrees. And these sides are equal. This is 41 degrees, but what is x? X is 22 degrees, because if those two triangles are congruent, then that's what happens. So that is what you need to know for this lesson. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.